So we're getting to that time of year that dads hate, because you get dragged around the shops to buy things and stuff like that, and then you come to your worst nightmare, the Christmas tree. And you have to help decorate the Christmas tree, and then comes the worst bit, the lights. And you spend ages fixing bulbs and getting them all going, and then what you have to do is 5 o'clock every day or 6 o'clock every day you get told, go and switch the Christmas tree lights on. So you have to crawl underneath and find the plug and plug it in, stuff like that. So today we're going to solve that problem by going, Alexa, switch on Christmas.
Okay.
So let's roll the credits and find out all about Tasmota and Christmas tree lights. Let's get this thing out of the box. As you can see, some people are left-handed, some people are right-handed, and I'm just cack-handed. Come on, Martin, you can do it. You can open the cardboard box. There you go. And inside is a local bytes plug. That is all that's there. The instructions are a little code on the side, which you can scan. And it's just a plug. It's got a little button on the side to switch it on and off. So let's find an extension lead and plug it in. There you go. Once it's all set up, the light comes on and off when you press it. So that's it all ready to be set up. Okay, setting up Tasmota devices. As we can see, the plug is flashing. And that means it's looking for Wi-Fi. So if you've got it looking for Wi-Fi, then what we need to do is connect to it. So on my phone, I need to go to settings and Wi-Fi. And if I look down, there's one called Tasmota. So we select Tasmota. It wants to sign in. It then wants to know what the details are for your Wi-Fi. So I can click multiple ones. So what we have to do is type in the password. I've got mine in the paste buffer. What you then do is you click save, and you have to watch closely, because what it should tell you is what your new IP address is. So I have to remember 1.250. So now we're connected. I'd actually move to the PC. We could do it on the phone, but why do it on the phone when you can use a whole computer? So this is the Tasmota main menu. As you can see, I've gone to the 192.168.1.250 address, and there it is. So this is Tasmota. It's a little bit of an old version. So the first thing we're going to do is upgrade it. It's nothing complicated. We just need to click on firmware update and then click on start upgrade. And what it does is it reaches out across the internet, goes and gets the update. So we're all kind of ready to have the latest version. I think the latest version is 15 point something. And what you have to do when you're upgrading Tasmota is click on the menu and then walk away. What you shouldn't do is fiddle around with things, because it will go wrong. But as you know, I like fiddling around with things, so I'm going to do it. So it does it in 2 steps because it's so large now. It pulls down a minimal version, and then pulls down the full version. So it's doing that now. So I don't need to touch anything. I really don't need to touch anything. I mustn't touch anything, because any second it'll go and say, I've got the new version. I'm going to control myself just for a bit. I'm going to, I might have clicked it. Control yourself, control yourself. It's loading the full version up. And any second now, there we go. I click firmware update, so it's doing something. And it's finished. Look, 15.1, all finished and done. So we've got an upgraded version of Tasmota now. The other thing I'd kind of recommend to do is putting a password against it, because at present anybody could access it and change things. So going to the web admin password and put a password in, it's asked me to save it, and then it will restart. And when it restarts, it wants to know the username, and that's always admin. And then the password is what you typed in. So there you go. You've got an upgraded Tasmota plug, and it's protected with a password. So you're not into this smart home lock. You just want the lights to come on and off. So what you probably need to do is just set a timer for doing things. So you go into configuration and into timer. You can have 16 timers that will work and be remembered. We're going to start off with timer number 1. Now what it does, we want it to switch the lights on. We're going to enable it and repeat it. And we're going to switch the lights on at 4 o'clock. Okay, and we're going to do that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you can pick whatever you want there. We're all ready to go, and we click save. So then we go back into timer, and this time we do timer number 2. The thing I've forgotten was to enable timers at the top there. Now, output, people are saying, what's that? Well, you could have multiple plugs on it. This one's only got one. We're going to switch it off this time, so we're going to enable and make it repeatable. We're going to do a time, and we're going to switch it off at 2300 hours or 11 at night, and we're going to do that every day of the week again, Sunday to Saturday, and then we click save. And then just go in to check, go back to timer, and as you can see, number 1, switch stuff on at 4 o'clock, and number 2, switch stuff off at 11 o'clock. And if we press save again, it'll now quite happily do that. Doesn't need to be on the Wi-Fi. You can just plug it into your Christmas tree lights and you're all ready to go. So let's say you don't want to do this Home Assistant thing, but you've got an Alexa or a Google Home. You can do that as well with Tasmota. So we click on Other. I'm just going to give it a different name. So I'm going to call it Christmas. Let's try not putting capitals all over the place, and we'll give it a friendly name of Christmas as well. And what we do is we click Belkin WeMo single device, click save. And when it restarts, I can say, Alexa, can you discover new devices, please?
Starting discovery. This will take a few moments. Turn on your new devices now, and if needed, put them in pairing mode. I found Christmas, and you can control it by saying, turn on Christmas.
Alexa, turn off Christmas.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on Christmas.
Okay.
So because I've put a password against it, we need to put the username and password in. So the username is always going to be admin, and there's the password. I'm going to save this so it remembers it from now on. So this is the device. So on the plug, what we need to do is we need to configure it to talk to MQTT on our server. So MQTT is the thing that's been used as a way of controlling devices for quite a long time now. It's used all over the internet to communicate with things. If you've got Zigbee to MQTT installed, you've already got a MQTT broker installed. If you haven't got an MQTT broker installed, link up there, which gives you the interface. It's an add-on. It's not quite hard. It's not that hard to do. So we need to know a host, and we need to know a username and a password. So if I go to my instance, so we go all the way down to settings and add-ons and Mosquitto broker, MQTT. So it's running and going. It's really only being used as a Zigbee to MQTT setup at present, and that doesn't use a username and password. So if we just go into configuration, we're going to need to add a login. So let's add a login, and it's picked admin and QWERTY 123456. Well, I don't like that, so I'm going to have a password of like and subscribe with a capital L at the beginning and a capital S just there, and I'm going to copy that and paste that into Notepad, and at the same time I'm going to create a user called Tasmota and click add. So we've got that user added now. We then need to go to this. Oh, I missed something. You need to know its IP address. You could ping the address, or you could go, if you go into system and network, IP4, and my IP address is 192.168.1.157. So let's put that in. 157. My username, oops, was Tasmota. I can't remember what my password was. So we'll go to my setup. Yep, like and subscribe. We'll put that in the password. Oh, click save, and it'll restart. Don't need to know that one. Okay, so if we then go into Home Assistant and into settings, devices and services, now sometimes it takes a second. No, right, so let's add the configuration. Tasmota, submit, finish. might take a second for it to come through. You can actually see, going back to the device, if you look in the console, so if we go into Tasmota, there's Christmas. It's picked up 20 entities for it, so it's kind of got what's going on now, what the voltage is, what the energy was yesterday, and it will show what the energy was in kind of total ever. So we've got it all set up. I can switch it on and off from here, which kind of works. So we could then do automations for it. So exactly like before, I can go settings, automations and scenes, create a new automation, when to trigger, add a trigger. Do you like the new setup for things? Seems to work. At a specific time or date, and we're going to make it at 5 p.m. and I'm going to say every day. Add an action. It's a light. It might be not marked down as a light, so it's going to be probably a switch. I want to turn a switch on, and my target, Christmas. Okay, switch. So 5 o'clock it'll switch it on. Switch on Christmas. Right. Okay, so that'll quite happily switch the lights on at 5 o'clock. We could add to the automation, so another trigger that switches off at 11 o'clock at night, exactly the same way. Okay, I'm going to go back to Tasmota, and for the last section, we're going to kind of cover some clever stuff. So the last section is things you can do inside Tasmota. Now I've kind of shown you that you can go into configuration and Wi-Fi and set your Wi-Fi up, and you can have multiple Wi-Fi. So you've got Wi-Fi networks 1 and 2, so if one fails it can go to the next one. You can also go into MQTT, set your settings in here. You can go into timer and do stuff. You can go all sorts of places, but it's a lot of clicking, and as I've said before, I'm lazy. So there is actually a console, and you can type all your commands in, and it quite happily, like one of the commands I know off the top of my head is restart one, which restarts the device. There you go. Restart it again. So you could type lots of commands in, you can go and look them up, but if you join my mailing list, I can send you this Excel spreadsheet, which does some really clever stuff. Let's zoom in a bit for you. Never remember whether it's this way. No, of course it's not that way. Or the other way. Let's go double the size. Okay, so what you do is you put your details in here. It looks at them and goes, is there any blanks? Is there anything missing? Because if you've got things missing, there might be a problem. So I've got in here the device name, the friendly name that we typed earlier, what the host is called, what location I've got it, what room it's in, what my Wi-Fi name is, what my Wi-Fi password is, what my host is. Remember we typed that into MQTT. The port we didn't type in, but that's the default one. My username and password. and what clients I want, and what I want for the web admin password. Remember, I typed like and subscribe. So what that does is creates this backlog command. And if you copy that backlog command into Notepad, which we'll just do, what you can do is it gives you all the commands. You can then paste it. I've done it this way because I didn't want to pull across the formulas. You can then paste it into your console and it'll run all those commands. I'm not running that because it's not configured. And you can set up all the information that's required. So it's all there and kind of done. So you're all ready for it. So one of the other things that you'll get joining the mailing list is the same thing, but resetting your energy on the plugs. So what there is, it gets today's energy, yesterday's energy, and the total forever. And if you set it to 0, it will do it. So if we copy this command, I'm going to be brave this time and send it straight to the console. And you watch it put, there we go. So it's going to say backlog, energy today 0, energy yesterday 0. There you go. And it's set it all to 0. Good command. There is one more in here, which is just as exciting. You can change the colors. And you're thinking, what do you want to change the colors for? Well, kind of all sorts of reasons. I'm going to do restart because that's what it'll take to put it into action. Restart one. I then go back to the main menu. Come on, restart. Okay. Purple. It means that you can kind of identify things. I just use it simple, I've configured this. Or when I want to update plugs, I kind of do a test one and I'll change the colors on it. Kind of a useful thing to do. Thank you for watching. Hopefully today in Tasmota has helped, whether you use Home Assistant or not. So you'll be able to go, Alexa, switch on Christmas.
Okay.
And away it goes. So, as I've dropped a few hints, if you could like and subscribe, that would be great. My mailing list is in the description. If you sign up, I'll send you all the commands. And now I need to point out this video and this video, which you can watch to your heart's content while singing Christmas carols. See you on the next one.